Recording life in progress. All right, we'll give everybody just a couple minutes to come on in. Yeah. Okay, and then just go ahead and gently close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. If you want, just find a stationary point to focus on. And start coming home to your body. And seeing if you can draw the breath just a little bit deeper. And release out. Just pull your attention to your body. Start with your feet, toes. Just noticing what it's like to have attention in toes. See if you can just bring awareness and presence here. And notice any value judgments you might place. So labeling things as good or bad. See if you can hold that awareness as opposed to being attached to those judgments. Bring your awareness up through the ankles, calves, the entire circumference of your legs, shins. Awareness in your knees, your thighs. Circle that awareness around the entire circumference of your thighs. The hips, feel the support underneath you. So you can sink into that a little bit more, that feeling of support, while also keeping the spine erect so that you're grounded through the support, also rising up through the spine. Belly, awareness there, awareness in the chest. Heart center. Just take a breath there. Through your shoulders, your hands, your arms, your neck. You notice any areas of tension, just see if you can breathe into those. And if they don't easily release, just allow them to be there. Through the neck and head. Through the face, brow, allowing it to be smooth and soft. Eyes, relaxing all the teeny tiny muscles around the eyes. And the eyes float in pools of water. Cheekbones, nose, mouth, jawline. And then your whole body, awareness for your whole body. Just feeling what that's like. A whole changing field of sensation and aliveness lives inside. Breathing. Maybe allowing a slight smile at the mouth, smile at the heart, smile at the eyes. Yes. More open heart. See if it just feels good to open. Smiling energy. Go ahead and send love ahead. Send love ahead to the families that we will photograph today. Send love ahead to every heart and body and soul in this room for what we will share together, what we will create, what we will discover. Send love ahead. You feel good. Place your hands on your heart and close fists. And then just gently open the hands, open heart. Close back up. And open. I just feel my whole body relax and expand with that. Open-hearted vibration is one of the highest vibrations. Stay in this space. Managing our energy is the number one thing we can do to make everything go better. We are actually 99% energy and only 1% matter. So the energy that we feel when someone walks into a room, the energy that we feel from clients, all of it has to do with the energy that we have first. So this open-hearted presence is really all we need. We don't need confidence. We don't need to know everything. Just need a willingness to show up. More deep breath here. Release out. Deep breath in. Release out. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes and come back. Oh, feels so good. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so do we have everybody? Yes. Okay. For our shoot this morning, the first shoot is your time to ease into this whole gig of directing and this whole vibe that's going to be us throughout our time together. So I will spend the first 20 to 30 minutes photographing. This will be the longest time that I photograph any of the families. I always say the same thing and it never quite happens. So I do still invite you to watch as much as possible just during that first 20 minutes during this shoot. The number one thing that people tell me after the whole retreat experience is over is that they wish they had slowed down and watched and like taken it in more. You will learn things from watching that you won't get if you're also photographing. But I understand that's sort of irresistible at times when the family's like, you're doing such amazing stuff, and you're like, I just did it. So that to say, like, I'm gonna let you all manage yourselves. It's not gonna be like, stop, don't, no. But I do recommend that for this first shoot, you really take the time to step back and just like absorb and observe. Because you'll see how I handle problems, you'll see how I manage the energy in the shoot, the kind of the ride and the roller coaster that I take them on. And that observation will be really valuable to you. So that said, you definitely can photograph over my shoulder if you feel so inclined. After that period, I will open it up for volunteers. This shoot only is volunteer only. All the subsequent shoots, everyone will have a turn to direct the family and get feedback from me. So when it's your turn, you will have time for one idea to execute. And the way that we do it is by location. So wherever I stop photographing, if anybody wants to do another idea in that location, that's where we'll start. And then we can move locations. And we do that so that we are not moving them all over the house all the time, and then it just the energy goes, it fritters away. So as far as groupings, you can do any grouping, you can do anything, as in any location. So when we first get there, I'm gonna have them give me a tour of the house. That's what I always do, so that I see every possible space from the beginning. And then I will talk through what I'm doing as much as possible, but I definitely sometimes get in the zone. So I'd be like, what are you doing? Or why are you doing this or that? Definitely be like, hey, you know, you can jump in, feel free to jump in with questions or that kind of thing. So for today, when it's your turn, if you would like to volunteer, I do recommend you take advantage of that. But it's totally fine if you need to take another minute to get settled. When it's your turn, you will have time to do one idea, like I said, and I will be watching and giving you feedback on how you're directing. But more importantly, as we said, there's no right answers, only your right answers. So if you do something and it doesn't work, then I'm just here to help and tell you why, as opposed to like you pulling out your best trick so that you can prove yourself. Yeah, so I recommend that you try something new, is what I'm saying. Or try something that you've tried in the past that sometimes works, but sometimes doesn't, and you're not quite sure why. Please do treat this shoot especially as a learning experience as opposed to a shooting experience. We will have many shooting and learning experiences, but this first shoot just is better suited to be a learning experience. As others are directing, then I know you guys will just be respectful as far as shooting alongside them. You're welcome to do that, but just being respectful. And then I will, depending on how many of you are volunteering, I might pop back in at the end and do a few more things at the end of the shoot. So, questions about how the shoot is going to go? Yes.
Question. Are you gonna be shooting your film? And if so, like, since you'll be closer to them, can you let us know what your readings are? Or like, how does that work?
Yes, I don't need a very much, so I will tell you what I'm doing. But mostly it has to do with where I place them in the room, more than just metering. And I find that that's what works better for me. Most often, I'll just tell you, most often my settings are 60th and 4 for a group photo, and 60th and 2.8 for smaller groups. And I just stick with that. It's 4 to 400. And sometimes I am a little bit over, sometimes I'm a little bit under.
Yeah.
And I just find that works so much better for my process than like trying to take a reading every time you move. But it's of course it's up to you.
And do you use any like stabilizing thing to be?
I know that's pretty cool.
60 for medium format.
Okay.
Medium format. For 35, I don't go lower than the focal length of the lens. That's sort of the rule of thumb. So that's for digital shooters as well. You know, you're not supposed to go below the focal length of the lens. So I don't do I always follow that. I don't know if I do, but I will have. You'll see me with my holdbacks. I have 2 Pentax 6x5s on my hips, and then I have the Nikon F100. That's the 35mm, and I just leave that loose. And I usually only shoot 1 roll of 35mm over the whole course of a shoot, and I don't think I'll get through that with the family today. I just mostly the 35mm for me is to give like motion, emotion, landscape photos, but like all the money shots are with medium format. And when you're thinking about stuff to try, please don't like, well, it's gonna be cute with mom and the kids over here. What's gonna be cute over there? Just think about your and choose an element that you want to portray. And
You can even come to your turn, like not having anything to do. You're just like, okay, here's an element of my family story that I want to experiment with, and we can workshop something and piece together something that we want to try. Other questions? Or head to the shoot? Let's see. Where's their time? Okay, great. So let's pack up our things, and so we have 2 cars here, and then we have cars as well. So I think we'll take these 3 cars. Is that okay? Or do you?
Well, do I need to come early for food to be delivered?
No, our shoot ends at 11, so we should be back.
Okay.
At 11:30.
Yeah, so we're good.
Is it gonna
So,
be delivered?
Yeah, so which cars do you want, those 3? My
I
car.
think we'll take these 3 for now, and I can drive at a later point if we
Okay.
need to. Okay, great. So we have to take some
And
pictures.
if you would like to bring a granola bar, then water bottles, I'll show you where they come from. Granola bar.
Oh, there we are.
Collaboration, like together.
I have the same camera that you have that I just bought.
Oh, okay,
In September.
nice.
So I shot like 5 rolls.
Cool. Soon to be
And
much more.
Yeah, I've quantitated them so far.
Okay.